What's going on, folks? Fight Day live chat, UFC Vegas 42, Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez. Intriguing card that we got coming up. 11 fights, early start, hence the early start time for the Fight Day live chat. Normally it's at 1 p.m. Eastern. However, the fights actually start at 1 p.m. Eastern this time. So, fights kick off in less than an hour and a half. If you are a part of the Lock of the Night or Dog of the Night challenge, there are a ton of submissions I have yet to receive. Here is another warning for you motherfuckers. Because I know I'm going to have a ton of you guys be like, oh, I submitted it. No, you didn't. You either missed the deadline or you didn't, especially for these early cards. So I do what I can to help you guys out. But when we're a couple weeks deep into the challenge already and you still don't know the rules, that's not my fault. Interesting start to Bellator last night. I only caught the first fight, and then I went out for dinner with the wife. And then when I got back, as soon as I got back, the Cyborg and Kavanaugh fight started, and it was quickly done shortly thereafter. So, but yeah, hilarious to see fucking a minus 1600 go down the dumps the way that he did. You know, I mean, that's why, like, I get with Bellator usually there's setup fights, right? Especially when you have a guy that's coming in with a little bit of hype. Sebi was obviously coming in with a ton of hype. He's even signed to front row management first round management. Um, just hilarious. You really got to dig into the fighter. You know what I mean? With the Sebi thing specifically, let me just pull up his record real quick because I'm pretty sure the vast majority of his fights uh or his two first fights ended in the first round. Yeah, exactly. He had two MMA fights. He made his debut in January, then I had another fight in June. The fight in January lasted a minute and 52 seconds. The fight in June lasted just over a minute. And then he actually had a bare knuckle MMA fight for that Game Bred Fighting Championship, and he won that fight in a minute 20 seconds as well. So um when he gets stretched, as we saw, even at the ending of that first round, it looked like he was in some trouble. Like, I really think the reason why he didn't go for takedowns in the second round was because he was gassed and he was scared that he was going to get submitted. Didn't matter because he still got fucked up in the third round. So, I really feel for the people that heavily invested in a parlay that included him. I skipped Bellator all in all yesterday. There's no way. I think I didn't make any official bets for it. I felt like my favorite underdog was Vassal. Didn't watch the fight, saw he won. Wish I obviously ended up pulling the trigger there as well. So is what it is. But we do have fights today. We have fights next week as well. Just remember, November 27th weekend, there is no UFC event. We are back December 4th. Technically, we're back December 3rd, as I believe that's Bellator 272, where we have the flyweight title on the line, right? I just want to quickly confirm that. Yeah, Pettis Horiguchi, December 3rd. Bantamweight title, sorry. It's interesting because both these guys used to be flyweights, were they not? Or at least Horiguchi was. Either way, Sergio Pettis Horiguchi fighting for the 135-pound belt. Manuel Sanchez against Jeremy Kennedy. That's a fun fight. Johnny Eblin continuing to make his rise to the top. Josh Hill getting back onto the card. Mike Hamill back against Kilis Mota. That should be a good fight. Kai Kamaka making his UFC debut. JJ Wilson trying to build off that Pedro Carvalho win, going up against Alfie Davis. Dan Moret making his return as well. So interesting fights. Oh, it was actually supposed to be Dan Moret against Mandel Nallo. Unfortunately, Nallo had to pull out. So now Moret faces Ricardo Seixas. If I'm not mistaken, this is that Sasquatch guy. Yeah, Sasquatch. I don't think that would be too tough of a fight for Moret. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those odds are. But you guys are here for UFC. I apologize. I'm just stammering on about Bellator. You guys hear about UFC. I'll quickly go over what my official bets are, and then I'll take in the questions here. I'm only with you guys until noon Eastern today. So I'll get through as many of the questions as I can. But lock of the night play. I'm going Max Holloway parlayed with Thiago Moises. I got Holloway when he was minus 500, and I got Moises when he was minus 236, I believe it was. So the parlay odds on there are minus 142. Dog of the night play. I took 2 half unit stabs on some big dogs tonight because I believe that they have a little bit of value, and they have an angle to win. And hilarious that I say angle because the first dog is called an Anglin, half unit stab at plus 245. And then I got Leah Letson as well, half unit at plus 286. Again, Felicia should smash if she gets this fight to the ground. However, Letson could pose her some problems, in my opinion. Then I also have a couple regular bets. I got 2 units on Cynthia Calvillo at minus 109. Really think that this is a spot that she should go out there and shine as long as she, pursues takedowns as I believe she should. I know a lot of people are kind of giving her a flack for, not attacking takedowns as much with Jessica Andrade, but I think she was just scared to close that distance and deal with that power. Compared to what she's going to be getting back from Lee here, which is more finesse type striking. I don't think she really has to worry about getting knocked out there, and I don't think that will cause her to really dilly-dally on the outside and stay at kicking range and allow Lee to just help point her from the outside. So really hoping that we see Calvillo attack takedowns consistently here, get some control time, and probably even pull off a submission. So I got Calvillo 2 units at minus 109. And then lastly, I got 1.25 units on the Baeza and Williams under 2.5 at minus 125. That's obviously to win 1 unit. But I love that spot. Obviously Baeza should win. I do think he has a pretty good chance of finishing Williams, if he drags the fight to the ground. Or even with a beautiful counter, because Williams at times just look quite recklessly. And then obviously we know from the Williams side, if he finds that counter perfectly, he's going to put Baeza out. So that is my concern in terms of backing Baeza's money line. I feel like I'm covering both sides here by taking the under. Obviously, there is the chance that that Baeza could win a technical point fighting style, which is why I only went a unit, 1.25 units. So there it is. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Then we shall get this going. Shout out to the 40-ish live viewers that we currently have. If I'm not mistaken, those guys over there, the Fight Night picks, are probably doing their question mark kicks thing right now. That's always going to be tough to beat on a fight day. With that said, one day, guys, one day we'll build this community big enough. Also, please do not take that as ill will toward the Fight Night picks, guys. I love those guys, fellow Canadians. I've had Craig on the show in the past. I might have him again in the very near future, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, shout out to those guys, absolutely killing the game. SD Crusader in the chat, appreciate you stopping by. Ryan Grant in the chat as well, appreciate you stopping by. Manny V saying, Buenos dias, I need to bounce back. I'm assuming you had a rough Bellator night. We'll get it back today with UFC, hopefully. Tajik Bay in the chat, appreciate you stopping by, my brother. Really good to see you. Phil Sire, good luck today. Likewise. Tristan Sherhouse, Cyborg minus 2,500 to me isn't even interesting to watch. Yeah, exactly. We know what she's going to do, more than likely, with a lot of these women. Paiva or O'Malley. Shout out to Robot Chicken Wings, obviously one of my day one supporters, or one of my close to day one supporters. I want to talk about the fights tonight. I apologize. My lean is obviously O'Malley knocking his ass out, but if the odds get a little bit crazy, I got to take another shot on Paiva, just as I did when he went up against Kyler Phillips. I mean, I think he's the dark horse in that division. Or at least I was at 125. At 135 pounds, he's still getting comfortable there, in my opinion. But I think the kid's skilled. I think he's skilled, and I might take a shot. Ryan Grant want to pull the trigger on Baeza. Yeah, as I laid out earlier, that counter power of Williams is a little bit concerning to me. But again, if that's all Williams has, Baeza should cruise as long as he's conscious for however long it takes. That's why I went with the under. Thomas Kane, something tells me Letson is going to crush today. I hope so. Again, like I said, half unit stab at plus 286. I don't know how you can feel comfortable with Felicia minus 300. But again, if she can successfully get that top position and get to work, yeah, she should cruise. Hoping Letson doesn't make that easy for her, though. All right. PSSA 31 cent t-shirts. One day, one day. Adam Mack had a 10 fight Bellator bet fall through on Vaso. Ooh, I'm guessing you're on fortune there. Apologies, my guy. Ursa Moambeki, something tells me Marcus De Lima is going to win a decision tonight. Maybe. I know, a ton of sharp dudes that are on De Lima. I personally think Rothwell takes it, probably finishes him in the second or third round. The argument I've been hearing for De Lima is that he's not dealing with a grapple heavy fighter here in Rothwell. And I don't think Rothwell needs to grapple to have success. I think he needs to survive early. And then after that, normally he's the one kind of pushing forward and making his opponents go backwards. And I think he could do that here against De Lima. And then De Lima should start to slow down, in my opinion, if he's on his back foot for the majority of this fight. So leg kicks, obviously a bit of a concern on the Rothwell side. But if Rothwell can force desperation takedowns here out of De Lima, they're not going to come as easy as when he fought Maurice Green. Uh, so I think we could see, a possible front choke scenario here for Rothwell as well. Shout out to my guy, Andrew Marchenko. Always good to see you Saturday morning, luck. Likewise, brother. With these shitty dogs, Yair plus Max stack viable this week. 6,700 for Yair in a loss. Still can score better than any other cheap option. Uh, I don't mind that approach, but like how many like we I really don't know what to say about that because like I don't really have high hopes about Yair's chances in this fight. Like he's gonna have to land a couple strikes here and there. And again, Max is quite hittable, so Yair's number could probably go up. But again, a lot of his strikes are unorthodox nature. Like it might be, how many combinations is he gonna throw out there? How many takedown attempts? All that type of stuff. Like we got to keep that in mind. Uh, but yeah, the dogs are tricky this week. That's why I went half unit stabs on two big dogs, right? So I don't mind the stack. I really don't mind the stack. Ursul Moambeki, 3-leg parlay. Kennedy and Jung fight goes to decision. Sean, why is Woodson? You mean Sean Woodson? Yep. And Courtney by decision. Good luck. I'm actually picking England there. And I'm not touching that Courtney Casey. I'm not touching Courtney Casey and Jojua or the Jung and Kennedy fights. Like my Hail Mary parlays, my Gabby Garcia parlays, all that shit. Like I left it out. I don't want to lose those lottery ticket parlays because of one of those fights. Ben Peak in the house. Appreciate you stopping by. Matt Villain, how confident are you in Daung? The fact he went to a draw with Bum Sam Alvey worries me. Not the most confident, you know what I mean? Again, like I just stated, I'm not touching Kennedy and Jung nor Casey and Jojua, but if you're forcing my hand there, that's who I'm picking. I'm picking Jung. Ashmeet Singh, Gida Baji. Max Yair over 2.5. I like it. Mark D. Casey money line, like it. Moises money line, like it. That looks like a winning ticket to me, brother. Adam Mack, apologies about Bellator message. Type when you were on them, but I'm so torn on Baeza. Again, don't worry about the Bellator message. Again, I was talking about it. You're more than welcome to question about it. Type when you were on them, but I'm so torn on Baeza matchup where they could just show up like he has in the past. Baeza very good. Where I think you mean Williams, but with Williams, again, it's a knockout or bust type of situation for him. And a plus 220, I believe his KO line is at just not enticing enough for me to even consider that as a hedge. Just go into again, you can if you like to hedge because it's better than nothing, but that's really his only shot, in my opinion, man. I'd be surprised if Chaos pulls off a submission or if he wins by decision because I think Baeza will be the cleaner fighter throughout the 15 minutes or however long it takes. Salute. Ben Peak saying Williams by submission almost 20-1. I'm not sure what you're seeing on tape that makes you believe that's live in any fashion. Manny V. Holloway by TKO plus 125. I like it. I like it, Manny. Again, looks like a winning ticket. Ryan Grant, does the weight miss for Jojua help or hurt? Normally a positive for grapplers, but I can't trust her at all. I don't think she's playing that 4D chess, if you know what I mean. I don't think she's you know, um, trying to use that extra weight. Like, I don't think that was her intention at all. With that said, I think the best way she wins this fight is going for takedowns and trying to lay on top of Casey and trying to put off a submission or something of her own. Because I don't think she wins the striking. Even the jujitsu, I don't know if she wins that, but that's like her strength. I don't know, man. Sketchy fucking fight. I'm staying away from that. JW saying going to rock a total parlay today. Yes, I will drop that for you guys in just less than 10 minutes. So stick around very shortly. Two saying poor Clint losing 3 on Lima. Again, I love Clint's style of kind of dog hunting. That's not a dog that I kind of agree with. But again, I'm not betting Rothwell, so what does that say? GGJMV saying Spencer survived Nunes and Cyborg. I'm not picking Letson. She survived against them. That's all I gotta say. She survived against them. Did she put up a fight against them? Felicia was the only person for them to fight at 145 pounds. Just because she survived doesn't mean that she's gonna destroy Letson. Like I don't understand that thinking. Eric Coach Rothwell by decision plus 250. I think he gets it done inside the distance personally. I think he eventually breaks to Lima and gets him out of there in the second or third round. Mystic Sosa, appreciate you stopping by. Felicia inside the distance plus 275, play of my week. Yes, if you were to pick Felicia, rather than play minus 300, take her inside the distance. That's the better way to go about it. Like, I'm not banging on anybody taking Felicia inside the distance. Felicia, money line, not worthy in my opinion. But yeah, if she does get that top position, as most people are expecting her to, and if she can be successful with it, more than likely she gets Letson out of there. Robot Chicken Wings, Cyber Ryan from the Lioness for never forget that exactly. Ben Peak F now is plus 2,600 for Williams, double checking. Ben, you a wild motherfucker. Mystic Sosa, Sean's going to catch this dude with a flying knee. Maybe. Robot Chicken Wings likes Williams. Joe Daro, appreciate you stopping by, my brother. Yep. Ashmeet, I did answer that, I believe. That looks like a winning ticket to me, so good luck. Or so, hey, Locke, did you see Weasel MMA put out a breakdown of Colby Usman 2? Says the fight should have been a draw with 10-8 in the second, 2 Usman and 3-4-5 going to Covington. I've heard those takes. I haven't watched the fight back myself. I will likely watch the fight back myself. Same with the Zhang and Rose fight, because I actually scored on live watching again. Mind you, I was baked and probably a little bit intoxicated. I thought Zhang won the first 3 rounds and then Rose won the second 2. So yeah, some interesting decisions in those main and co-main events. Joe Todaro saying my boy Anglin plus 275. Yeah, I got it in at plus 245. So I'm kicking myself a little bit there. I missed out on some extra juice there, but it is what it is. Mystic Sosa, 1,500 favor, got knocked out last night in Bellator. Lovely. Yeah, he got ground and pounded shit because he gassed the hell out. Andrew Barchenko, do you pick Anglin because he is a value, or do you legit like his chances to win here? I legit like his chances to win. Like, I do think that he has the path to go out there and beat a guy like Woodson. Again, like I feel like I laid it out pretty straightforward in the breakdowns I've been doing all week. But like, Zalal, former not former but current training partner of England, so they've already trained for a guy like Woodson in the past. They know the things about him. Woodson no longer with James Krause, at least hasn't been for the last 2 camps, if I'm not mistaken. But I do believe that at least they might share a little bit of information between the two, considering Krause's relationship with England's coach. But still, like, England has shown he can gut out takedowns, he can gut out clinch positions, has some decent striking as well. Woodson, I still have question marks about, man. The guy gets controlled so much in his fights. And yeah, he does a good enough amount of damage when he breaks out of those control situations. But at a certain point, it's just going to take a little bit of variance for England to get maybe a 30 or 40 more seconds of control time. And that's ultimately what swings it in his favor. But yeah, I like Woodson. I like England there. Jared TG, good morning. This card scheme sketch seems sketch for betting, or is it just me? There are some interesting spots. MT Swio no text saying who knows 3-year layoff. Yeah, also she looks like much better now. Like, she had a ton of like health issues and stuff, and since then it seems like she's really fixed it, and she looks in much better shape than we've ever seen her before. Like, really, she, like, look at her, her fight week pictures from her last fight when she went up against Stolyarenko, and compared to this fight weeks, like, she looks in much better shape. DXJC Chaos Round 1 KO plus 800. Y'all must have forgot Baeza Chinny, and my boy got that death touch. Baeza Chinny strictly because he got hurt by Matt Brown. He's never been knocked out, but that's kind of the narrative that people keep clinging on to, right? Like it's almost like it's not as bad as when Khabib got touched by Johnson. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, he might be chinny." Like there's certain situations where guys get touched and they don't go out, right? And Baeza is one of those guys. He went 15 minutes with Santiago Ponzinibbio, who's a pretty hard hitter himself. With that said, I still have that concern in the back of my head about Chaos's knockout power. So yeah, round one KO at plus 800. I don't mind that either. I really don't mind that. Jay Tucker in the chat. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you stopping by. Bon Kui saying Sosa, I was on Hughes plus 700, Askar plus 200 last night. I don't know how Subby was minus 1400 after only 2 fights. You know why? Hype. Hype is why guys are sometimes too big of favorites. Just like Loretta, right? Minus 400, not so much based on her skill, but a lot to do with the popularity that she has. Clarissa Shields, again, good boxer, but not an MMA fighter, at least not yet. So good shit on that Hughes ticket and Askar as well. Early prediction on Cop versus Zalgas. I lean Zalgas, man. I remember seeing the odds there plus 170 for Zalgas. I think the line is wide there. I think Zalgas could take that one. Let's cast some tickets tonight. BP early prediction for Moreno Figgy 3. I'm not even thinking about that fight, to be honest. That's so far down the road. Lean is Moreno, I guess. I'm not sure. Mr. X saying John Vellante tilted me so hard last week I couldn't stomach betting buys on watching him not grapple and get charged. Some nice fade spots next week. Interested to hear who you are fading next week, Mr. X. MT is saying Colin has a James Cross factor. Woodson has been working with him. Had been working with him. Colin trains at Factory X. Head coach there is Mark Montoya, who is James Krause's coach whenever James trains for a fight. Woodson used to be at James Krause's gym, no longer there anymore. So let's clear that up. ST Crusader is saying believe in Clark Kent. Also, last early prediction, Wonder Boy versus remember the name. It's hard to back Wonder Boy after that performance against Gilbert Burns because Bilal could absolutely replicate that type of performance, in my opinion, at least in terms of like getting takedowns and controlling him. I think he could do that. If he wants to kickbox with Wonder Boy, he might get knocked out or he might not fare well at all. But if he's able to pursue takedowns and get them successfully, I think we see a similar fight to that Burns fight. So I'm interested to see what the odds are. But I likely won't be backing Wonder Boy there. MT, not this time. England said Kraus didn't share info because he's a stand-up guy. Interesting. Maybe. Maybe. BP also can't believe Jose Aldo plus 150 dog to Rob Font. It's a 5-rounder. That's the catch. If it's a 3-rounder, Aldo possibly favorite. 5-rounder, gotta favor Rob Font. Am I betting Font though? No. Ryan Grant, favorite round 3 sprinkle if you had one to pick. I don't think there's many today. I think for the Patreon, I only gave out 2. Rothwell round 2, round 3, or Holloway round 3, 4, 5. MT, agree, let's look good. Drop in knowledge. You already know, brother. I do my best. Bias is not chinny. Again, he's shown that weakness, but he's never been knocked out. So Marchenko saying, why the hell did Alves rise from plus 135 to plus 185? Did I not see something on a weigh-in? Well, actually, there's just been steady money coming in on DKC all week. I think just people are getting some FOMO and betting him later in the week now. Michael Lehrer saying, any Rex on a good beard oil? Appreciate you showing some love for the beard. I don't know the name brand that I use, but I should maybe get like a beard oil like sponsor if I could, eh? Like if anybody has a hookup on a beard something, not Manscaped. I've gotten offered Manscaped so many times. I don't want to do Manscaped. Everybody's doing Manscaped. DXJC was very clearly hurt multiple times in that Pons fight, and that's why he lost it. Let's stop pretending like it was only the Matt Brown fight that showed it. Again, they just It could happen. Again, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. It could happen. And Chaos Williams is probably one of the hardest hitters in that division. Hasn't been knocked out yet, though. Just saying. Those are facts. Uh you guys are talking amongst yourselves. HSB, what makes Letson look good? Her striking. I think she has HSB saying she's been out for 3 years, bunch of health problems. You're overthinking. I'm not overthinking it. I don't think I'm overthinking it. Again, I know a decent amount of sharp guys that are on Letson in this spot as well. Odds are way too wide. Again, Spencer is just grounding some of these horrible, horrible fighters and then just doing work from on top. I'm not saying Letson is an amazing fighter by any means, but I think she has the chops to make this a difficult fight for Spencer. And again, the health issues, 3 years, we can't just automatically write her off and say she's going to look like shit. Again, physically speaking, she looks better than she's ever looked. And then in her striking, again, I think it's, I think it's a couple notches above what Spencer brings to the table with striking. It's just the ground game that we got to worry about here a little bit. Um, yeah, if Letson gets taken down from what I've seen on tape, she always works back to her feet. With that said, Felicia Spencer is probably the best fighter she's fought in regards to that. But let's see if Spencer can do it effectively. At minus 300, I'm not trusting her to do so, though. Mystic Sousa, KO round two, biggest step up, and he thrives. Interesting. Interesting. Again, my bet on that fight is the under 2.5. So as long as somebody gets a finish, Chaos or Baeza, I'm in. Ursul Becky, don't forget Matt Brown is the kill leader at welterweight with 13 finishes. No shame in Baeza getting touched by my guy Matt Brown, possibly. MT Kraus will be in his corner. I think though Kraus will not be in Woodson's corner, if that's what you're saying. I don't think he's in Anglin's corner either. Fresco to Askarov should have gotten a title shot. I absolutely agree. Super Look is saying, do you think Holloway could finish Yair early? I don't think he finishes him early. Probably round 3, 4, and 5. Free wavy. What shot do we give Anglin? I don't see how he gets it to the mat. Honestly, he can get it to the mat. Even if he doesn't, even just clinch work up against the cage. I think that's enough for him to get control time and possibly win rounds. That's how Zalal won round 1 against Woodson. You know, I mean, I think that Anglin can produce something similar. And again, at plus 286, man, the path is there, in my opinion. Free wavy Woodson has been taken down in every fight, but he gets right back up. Yeah, he's been showing that he struggled against Terrence McKinney on the Contender Series, and obviously he's getting better. Don't get me wrong, but we got to see, you know, what once he starts fighting guys with guaranteed top control, like they know that they can hold guys down, then we'll see the odds start to close a little bit more. But I think that Anglin has the chance to do so. Again, control against the cage. Yeah, it's all there. Vidaya G. Vidaya, appreciate you, Ashmead. All right, I'll take a couple of these last questions, then I'm going to drop the totals parlay for you guys. I'm just going to quickly scroll through these last couple questions here and just touch on things I haven't touched up. DJ Low saying, I'll hit you up about some beard product sponsors. That's my guy right there. That's my guy. I know you're connected in that world, eh? Yeah, slide them DMs, bro. If you can get me a beard oil sponsor of some sort, I'm in. I'm in. Does the height difference not bother you from Moises? Not at all. Like I knew it was obviously going to be it was obviously going to be a huge height advantage in Alvarez's favor, but it doesn't bug me at all. Doughboy Nasty saying Courtney Casey Lachlan, I play. Good luck to you, my brother. Yeah, Leo McLaughlin saying, why are there almost 90 people watching this and not almost 90 likes? Hit that like, fellas. Hit that like. Takes one click. That's all. Jason's saying, hope we can all make some loot today. Rothwell by sub and Rothwell plus Woodson Anglin doesn't go to the decision plus 280. I'm not sure Woodson Anglin doesn't go to decision. I think it could go to a decision, but I do like that Rothwell plus 400. Red Pill I was saying Letson has only trained 20 minutes a day the last 3 years. She wasn't medically cleared to do more than that. There's no way that's true. Let me know where that. Let me know where you heard that. Mr. X saying Cross doesn't seem to like Woodson. Woodson quick tap to a shit darts against Rose and Cross thinks he's ladies again a quitter. I'm not sure if that's what it is. It's just interesting that his last two fights are up against Factory X guys who Cross has a very close tie with. So that could potentially be the thing. Yeah. Woodson left Glory. Yes, he is gone from Glory. All right. Appreciate all the love in the chat right now. Let's give you guys the totals parlay, and then I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Again, fights start in less than an hour. Um, I know a bunch of you are waiting for that totals parlay. HSBC, looking forward to your next live stream with the fighter. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it. I got a coach coming on for this coming week's Ultimate Weigh-In show. So that's the most I'll spoil about that one. All right. Totals parlay. Let's get it going. Excuse me. We are going to go Baeza Williams under 2.5. Anglin Woodson over 2.5. Calvillo Lee over 2.5. Rothwell Delima under 2.5. Arce Song over 2.5. The Rodriguez Holloway total is set at 3.5. If it was at 4.5, I'd go under. I think I'm going to leave it alone at 3.5 though. Let me just go over this one more time to make sure there's no other spots. Alves Diakese, I feel questionable about that. And Suchuku Jung, I feel questionable about that. Casey Jojua, again, no trust in that. Letson Spencer, again, Spencer could finish this if you truly can establish that top position and get going. But if Letson wins, it likely goes over 2.5. So I don't want to touch that. Again, only 11 fights, and I've got 5 totals that I've managed to parlay here for plus 728. So I apologize, guys. Not the juiciest of totals parlays, but it's still something. So once again, Williams Baeza under 2.5, Anglin Woodson over 2.5, Lee Calvillo over 2.5, Delima Rothwell under 2.5, and lastly Arce Song over 2.5. There you go. All right. Let's see these last couple questions here, and we'll get out of here. Jason saying the Molina one was fire. Yeah, Molina's a G. I'll definitely be having him on soon. Brian Anthony saying Montoya week. No comment. No comment. Joseph Secretary saying, damn, you need a new bookie minus plus 1090. Again, I'm getting these odds from Intertops right now, and that's kind of the one that I use for this. Not the greatest lines on Intertops, but yeah. Leo saying, love this channel and the content. Keep up the good work, and let's go win. Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging with your boy for the Fight Day live chat. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like on the way out. Hit that subscribe as well if you're not already subscribed to your boy, because that's already a given. So you guys can get the notifications whenever I go live. And yeah, next week, again, it's the last event in the UFC's consecutive weeks of events. So don't get caught tripping on November 27th when there's no UFC event. Let's try to enjoy as much of the face punching as we can over the next 2 weeks, because then we got 1 week off. I'll be back next week, obviously. MMA Logcast Thursday, propping you up with John once again. Friday, Ultimate Weigh-In show with the guest TBD. Well, it's already decided, but to you guys, it's TBD right now. But yeah, good luck on your bets tonight. War, Thiago Moises, War, Max Holloway. Let's try to make some money tonight, fellas. Good luck, and see you guys next week.